Right. I generally feel we have more time for crypto for these prices, potentially a little bit lower from the rest of summer and potentially even autumn as well. So that is what I'm seeing, especially because this hasn't happened. But we are going to get back into that picture. But welcome everybody to Crypto Angles podcast number 68. My name is Kelita Sahliah. If you are new, if you're not, then welcome. I am a mother, a real angel, and of course, I dabble in crypto, and that's why you're here. So I do combine my cryptocurrency with astrology, but it is astrology of the sky. So it's not mainstream Western tropical astrology. It's the sky you see every day, and they are different if you did not know. So the order of this video, usually it goes from some Gematria connections, if that's happening on the world stage, but there's nothing this video. I'm going to be focusing on the retrogrades. But then we'll look at the astrological story for this cycle and how astrology could be impacting the crypto market. And then we'll check out the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY. Now, if you are new, as my son always reminds me, do give a like on the video, help you girl out, and subscribe if this resonates with you. Feel free to share. It will just help me out, so thank you. Let's get into this astrological story of this cycle. Anyway, I attempted this live like 5 minutes ago, but the mic weren't working because it was on mute. So I was like, let me just start again. But anyway, we are here. And forgive me for not appearing last Sunday. You all know I'm dealing with my head, my mental health. So I appear when I appear. But anyway, here we are. So we're the 8th of September right now. So we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it the 8th? Yes. We're still technically in our new moon phase. And this is the last day of where price is in that phase of finding its resistance. And clearly we can see when we look on the charts, you can see price found its resistance. And I always say when it's a new moon, no moon, this one, you price finds its resistance. So essentially you can short the market once it's found its resistance. And this was like a perfect time, really, if you do trade like that. And then when it's the full moon, price likes to find its support, and then you potentially long it once it's found its support. So we are at the end of our new moon energy, where price clearly found its resistance already before this date, and it had gone down. And if you've been following the market, you would have known, but we'll take a look in a moment. So what I want to pay attention to, these aren't really important. I'm going to say that. So if you kind of want to know more about that, that's more for your personal life. Check out my Thursday videos. But I want to pay attention to the moon, and we're going to touch on this moon as well, because we are shifting now into our full moon energy. Okay, and full moon energies is 5 days before, 5 days after. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when the shift happens, essentially from Friday, we will be entering into our full moon stage of price wanting to find its support. Okay, so within it wanting to find its support, we could get some lows in the market. That could be a potential. So keep that in mind. Now, I want to bring your awareness to, we'll cover the sun in the next video on the 15th. Okay, but I do want to bring your awareness to the moon as the energies start at the end of this cycle. So, that's basically it for the astrological story. It's just the moons I'm paying attention to. So what I want to bring your awareness to is this photo before we look into the charts. So during a presidential election year, we're meant to generally have some movement and obviously a decent amount of movement in August, but that did not happen. So I do find this interesting as we are in a presidential election year, but it's not happened. Why does it show it like that on the computer? Like, I don't know. I'm on the free version of StreamYard, so I say for some time. So I'm curious about this one. Obviously, the presidential election month, is it the end of October or in November? I don't know the exact days. I don't really follow presidency and stuff like that. But this didn't happen. Oh, In the stock market, though, we did get highs. We were getting all-time highs in the stock market. We'll probably take a look at one of them. We'll take a look at one of them to see how it was going on. But we were getting highs in the stock market. I'm just unsure if it was during July and August. Um, so yeah, but we'll take a look. But for crypto anyway, that didn't really happen. It didn't really happen. So I'm like, what will December bring? Especially because on the technical analysis, I need to show you these things. So on the technical analysis, what I have done here, and I mentioned I was going to do it, we were going to cover over the Mercury retrogrades to see how price responds during it. So I have done it throughout. Um, I have done it throughout, and I've labeled them as well. They're all labeled, so we know kind of like where it was, where Mercury was in the sky, if certain star constellations have an impact or not. So all the boxes are how Mercury retrograde responded and so on. What I have, let's just go through it. Let's go through it. But before we go through that, I do want to bring your awareness to the RSI. On the W time frame, and this is why I wouldn't be surprised if there are more lows, because on the W time frame, if you are new, I don't like using the word week, so that's why I say cycle, but on here it's a W, so W time frame. The RSI and the W, we still have room to go to the bottom. And I generally feel before we're going to get any highs, we need to kind of come a little bit lower on the RSI. Now, this doesn't mean price is going to drop significantly low or anything. Obviously, it may go a bit lower, but like the way price moves, the way the RSI and the price moves, it's a little different. So, for example, it could show like a deeper correction in the RSI, but price isn't moving that deep, or it creates like a bullish or bearish divergence and things of that nature. However, just looking at it like this, let's just make it a little fatter before we get into the retrogrades. Oh, come on, laptop, you can do it. So I want to bring your awareness to when it was low in the RSI, and then obviously how price responded after that. So we did have, oh, what is going on? Silly laptop. We did have a low here. This was our lowest point. And as you can see, where was this? 2022. Price was at this level. It did go a little bit lower whilst going higher in the RSI. So this was kind of signaling a bullish divergence. Price was lower, but the RSI was higher. Okay. So that was interesting. But point being, we were still low on the RSI before we ranged for a little, went a bit lower, created our bullish divergence, and then we, carried on up. We carried on up until we've reached the highs of this point when we surpassed our all-time high slightly, and then we were clearly overbought. Now, in order for like a big move in the bull run to kind of commence and start, I'm just not seeing that happen when we're kind of just floating without going at least to the lower side, more on the lower side. So that's one reason why I'm like, oh, we could be getting some more lows, like last lows, good prices, or even a little bit lower. Yeah, so keep that in mind. With the MACD as well, you can clearly see we're quite heavily in the red, but it does seem like we could do a bit more. The red needs to calm down for its downward momentum. We may get this. We want to see a crossing, obviously, of these two moving averages. Hopefully, you can hear me over this plane. Hopefully, the mic's not picking it up too much. But we'd need to get this crossing with our moving averages, and I feel as that happens, that's when price could be just slowing down and getting ready to recover, but it just doesn't seem like it's doing that just yet. And again, with the RSI, with it going down that little bit more, that deeper correction, as you can see, we're getting rejected off of this yellow moving average as well. So yeah, let me just double check the sound is there. Okay. Yeah, there might be a little echo, but I just had to make sure that the sound was there again. So keep that in mind. Now, in combination with the MACD and the RSI, let's take a look at the Mercury retrogrades now to see how it's actually been moving. So I'm going to go to the daily and we're going to scroll. I've only gone back to like the beginning of the ending of 2016, beginning of 2017, ending of 2016. But this is what I've done. Obviously, on the daily, we are kind of at our lows here, which is interesting. Oh, let's just show the moon so we can clearly see where its resistance was. So clear resistance on this new moon, which was, oh, where's my calendar? That's what went. Bear with me, you're going to see my horrible screen. I don't know what's happened to my calendar. There we go. So we had this Leo new moon on the 3rd, and that's where price obviously was rejected right here. Had its resistance level, and then you could have potentially shorted it. And then here we are. So we're in the midst of trying to find our support. But in my head, I wonder if this zone here will be a break and retest. Reason being is because like a break and retest to the lower side, or will that be our support? Because we did touch it one time and again, though we wicked for lower, and then we've hit it again. So will we follow this wick and, you know, test price throughout this wick, touching the top of this parallel channel? Or will we gain our support and will the full moon come in and will we continue up? So it's one or the other, but let's take a look at the Mercury retrogrades. So during this one that just happened, it was pretty much sidewards, but a bit of upward momentum, and then we're obviously retracing back out of it. This retrograde, we had a downward momentum, it being Pisces. This was earlier on in the year, April. Bit of downward momentum afterwards, and then we recovered after it. Sideward momentum during Sagittarius and Ophiuchus retrograde. Come on, laptop. You can do it. Because I just have to see it a little closer. Leo and Sextans, pure sideward momentum, continued sidewards, and then we did recover. Aries, no, let's make it bigger because my laptop's not laptoping. My laptop is not laptoping right now. It's like it uses a lot for this StreamYard. And I am a little tired, you can probably hear in my voice. Come on. Why is it going so slow? Okay, it's not really doing it right now. It's not really doing it. Pay attention to kind of, you just look yourself to see how it moved, because what I want to bring my attention to is this. Oh, this next one that's coming up in December, and we're going to jump back to my calendar afterwards. This December, it's Ophiuchus and Scorpio. So I want to just bring your awareness to like more of the Ophiuchus energies afterwards, and then how price responded. So we have this one with Sagittarius and Ophiuchus. It was sideward momentum during it, but then after we did have upward momentum before a bit of a retracement, and then it continued on up. So bear in mind for the Ophiuchus energies, because that's going to be the next one. Oh, it's really just not doing it. Just zoom out and I'll show you the other Ophiuchus energy, because that's what I want to pay attention to right now. Mm. Let's get rid of these moons. I think it's like the stream. My laptop shouldn't an Apple laptop be able to handle these things? Like, what's going on? Let's get rid of the moons anyway, and just move over. I wish it would just move over. I really do, but it's not doing that. Oh, we're just gonna open another trading view. Oh, not TikTok. We'll just open another trading view. There we go. And close that one. Hopefully it works a little bit better. Sometimes I feel defeated where it's just like I'm trying to do these things and life just isn't allowing it. It just makes it difficult. There we go. This one's moving. It's going really slow. Sorry, I am still here. I'm just not feeling chatty to just chat in the space. I'm not feeling chatty. Oh yeah, this just seems like a defeat. I feel like giving up. I really feel like giving up because it's just, I just want to show the Ephesians one, like it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. And it's just not going. Scroll left, fam. Wow. I swear I'm just over it. Here it is, literally right there. I just want to show you the Ephesians because in the Ephesians retrograde that happened in December, it's really not doing it. That's when we had, oh, we had an Ephesians, we had a Scorpio and a Ephesians. As I'm doing it, it's working fine, and I'm going on the stream. And hopefully I'll just show you people, if you're here with me now still, that it is real. We're just real people with many issues that don't work. It's this one. Like, it's not showing, but it's this one. Oh, this is immensely frustrating. Immensely frustrating. It's got one job and it's not doing the one job. It's like the laptop's like, I've got too much open. I can't do it. It's not working, people. It's literally just not moving over, and I'm very over it at this point. If I go to the W time frame, will it do it? See, and look how tiny it shows it. I'm just gonna have to do it. At least it moves on this one. Here. It's here. This one here, this long one, was the Ophiuchus one. Now it was Ophiuchus just by itself. When we've had like it's so mixed up, but when you've had Ophiuchus with Scorpio, Libra here, we've had Ophiuchus with Sagittarius over here. The energies coming afterwards, and bear in mind Mercury was just in Ophiuchus at that time. It retrograded from Sagittarius, and then when it was in Ophiuchus we had this expansion. With this one over here, it's just Ophiuchus. And all we had, like, I can't zoom in to show you the thing better. Will it move over? Yes, you can do it. As you can see, with this Ophiuchus one, which was here, we just had this upward candle. Like, it was just so up during this Ophiuchus retrograde, or when Mercury was in Ophiuchus. This was the whole retrograde, and we were just up. The past other ones, it was during Mercury, and when Mercury was in Ophiuchus, it's like it was probably sideward momentum, but the Ophiuchus energy then brought it up. So I am going to be paying attention to when Mercury enters Ophiuchus. Reason being because Ophiuchus is healing and transmutation. It transforms energies. So it's like with Ophiuchus, Mercury fully retrograding in Ophiuchus here, we had this high upward momentum, and then we did obviously retrace back into it. But like I says over in the other part, yeah, it's like it just couldn't handle the daily. I was about to give up. I was about to say, forget this and eat my Subway. But anyway, like we've had here, Sag and Ophiuchus, sideward momentum. But when Mercury was still in Ophiuchus, we had this heavy upward momentum for Bitcoin anyway. So I'm curious about what's going to happen here. This is why I said I wouldn't be surprised if we do have this break here and retest this zone, because it's like we've retested this level, but this wasn't a strong trading cluster. I feel the strongest for it to retest back to will actually be this zone. So that would be the what, about 44k Bitcoin. If that happens, I don't know, but this is definitely a stronger point to retest for a healthy continuation than just this zone at 52. This would also bring us back into this parallel channel, which I feel would be healthy. It would definitely be healthy for continuation. And on my other Bitcoin chart, I do have this squiggle. It's going to be messy, but just bear with me. Bear with. So I do have this squiggle. It's like we are definitely in a whole cup and handle. And even if we finish this cup and handle pattern, we could still dip into this blue parallel channel with it still being a strong pattern, basically. And I feel it will be healthy. Whether we'll go to the bottom side of it, I don't know. But as you can see, this red line comes down and it does touch the dotted line. It touches halfway of the parallel channel, which brings us to retest this zone. So I feel I wouldn't be surprised if it touches here, and here would definitely be much more healthy anyway. So do keep that in mind. But we could just retest. No, if we retest the top, then we're still kind of at this level. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. However, like I said, going back to this photo, these didn't happen. So could we get that deeper correction coming in to get an explosive December and quarter one as well at the beginning of 2025? Now, bear in mind, we are in the year of the dragon. We have had past correlations of quarter one, the beginning of the year, being explosive, as well as quarter four of the previous year. And the year of the dragon finishes in February, before the year of the snake starts. So are we still in that dragon energy, basically, of Phoenix rising? Like, that could be a vibe, that could be something for sure. And like I said, it just wouldn't surprise me. Where's trading view at the end? It just wouldn't surprise me going into like the winter months. We have that correction like October. And could we go to December? Could we go to December for that full moon? Like, I don't know if we'll go that low or we'll have higher highs, but I do feel we'll have a longer time, especially going back to the RSI on the W. I feel that would give us time to finish off these lows, to get lower in there for continuation up. And if that is the case, we have that deeper correction. then when we enter into this retrograde, when we enter into the retrograde that's coming, which has Ophiuchus energy, and bear in mind when it stations direct, it's going to leave Scorpio and it's going to be hovering in Ophiuchus, going to be traveling back through Ophiuchus. So could we get that explosive energy coming through during that retrograde, especially because going to December, we have our full moon just as Mercury stations direct, and it's going to station direct. And as you can see, on the 22nd, it will enter back into Ophiuchus. So we're going to be in that Ophiuchus energy. Of price would have found its bottom at this point, would have found its support during this full moon phase, or a little bit before or after, and then we're in that Ophiuchus energy. So could that be the propeller to take us up, just as the sun would have entered into Sagittarius as well? It's an arrow, it knows where it's going, it's a mature fire sign, it knows the direction it's going in now. So could that be the thing? I could be 100% wrong, but I am seeing December going into 2025 as like we may see something. Like, think about it, after this presidential election has come through and done, after it's come through and done, people are more sure on what's going on, so they're like, oh, could we get more of an explosive December? Whereas there's been a lot of unsurety in the world. But I do want to check the stocks. We'll take a look at the stocks. So I have only done this for Bitcoin. I haven't done it for XRP. But if you'd like me to do it for XRP, do let me know. Let your girl know, and we'll see. Especially if you got this far in the video and you've surpassed the slowness of my laptop. But yeah, that's kind of what I am anticipating, that there's basically more time, and I do wonder how it could go. Like, could we hover on this level? Could we fall lower, get a break, retest, go down into this, probably hover more, and then recover out of it? I don't know how it would be like that. Should we leave that there to see if it happens or not? But I do wonder if that will be the case, or if we're just going to just draw to hover on this level and then just recover up out of it. I don't know, one or two. We'll see, one or two. Let's just take a look on the daily, just at the actual chart. So on the daily, obviously we are recovering a little bit. We haven't hit the fully like oversold yet on the daily, so I don't know, could we recover a bit and then get that break and retest? I'm going to look on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so on the 4-hour, there's definitely some recovery happening. So I just want to pay attention to how we respond on this level. Will we recover enough for this to be the bottom? But if there is signs of weakness, as there has been continuously, could we come down? Like, we have left Mercury retrograde, so there may be room for recovery, but could we get rejected off of the luminary moving averages and then we come down? But there's definitely room on the smaller time frame for there to be slight recovery. It's just going back to the W time frame, it's like there's definitely room to the downside, but as it's already pointing down, there may be a bit of sideways momentum on the smaller time frames before it finishes this. Because like I said, going across, gosh, that's what I was showing you first. What have I just done? Delete. All right, going across, just looking at the RSI, we were at lows before recovering, and that continues throughout. Like, it continues throughout. Let's go to the next low. So we were on the low side of the RSI here, as you can see, and then once it had got to the lower side, it's just sideward, and then we went up to the top, and it does continue. Please just go ahead. So here again, we were on the lower side where price is here, and then we did have upward momentum afterwards. Excuse me. We had upward momentum afterwards. So yeah, so this is why it does continue further, but my laptop's not laptoping. This is why just coming back to this zone where we're at, I'm like, I'd feel a bit more confident within the RSI. We're going to get slightly lows. It may not be fully oversold. It may not even touch the dotted line, but definitely getting close to it. And we're just a bit too far from it for now for me to say, oh yeah, there's going to be an explosion right now. I'm seeing momentum in Q4 and Q1. If it's the beginning of Q4, I don't know, because we're entering into that soon, aren't we? But I'm seeing more December, to be honest with you. Like, yeah, like I remember vaguely, not vaguely, vividly, I remember Christmas, there was just highs going on in crypto. It was just like, whoa. Then it went quiet during the Christmas period for a few days. But as we kind of went into the Gregorian New Year in January, there was just explosive moves. What year was this? Oh gosh, I can't remember the year. Was it 2019? I think it was 2019, the end of 2019 going into 2020. Or was it the end of 2018 going in? No, I think it was the end of 2018 going into 2019. We had an explosive like Q4 and Q1 in the crypto market. So I'm wondering if that's going to happen again. And because, like I says, this photo hasn't happened, but we'll see if this happens. It's like, could we get that? Could we be getting a super cycle? Like, yeah, I definitely feel we're going to see highs in the year of the dragon. Remember, that ends at the beginning of 2025. But I'm seeing 2025 will be obviously mainly the year. Will it go on into 2026? Like, will we get that super cycle where we get the last highs at the beginning of 2026? We'll see. I'm working on that calendar now. So, and there's some interesting things that I'm seeing. So do keep that in mind. And while I've said it, make sure you do grab the calendar so you can follow along. It's 40% off on this one. And do stick around for the 2025 to 2026 calendar. Okay, it will be ready in November. But going back onto this anyway, that is what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. Like, price is gonna want to find its support, so we could get sideways momentum, and this could well be a break and retest of this zone, especially because it is getting weaker and weaker. We're getting lower highs each time, a high, and then this break and retest. We'll see. We shall see. But that's what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. We'll take a look at I want to take a look at a stock, but all of them have gone from my head. What are they called? This is the first one that's in my head. Oh, US. US 30. We'll just take a look at the Dow Jones. Because I want to see what was going on during July and August. So, so July, obviously we had some upward, but August, and then what's this? This is obviously September now. So for the stock market, this picture was a bit more accurate for sure. It was a bit more accurate because we got our higher high during August, and we were having upward momentum in July as well. Yeah, retracements. And then obviously now we're retracing potentially until December. So that's interesting. And crypto does follow the stock market, but crypto just is behind. It's just not doing it yet. So that's telling me like confirming a bit more. December may be more movement for crypto, and of course I'm focused more on Bitcoin because Bitcoin moves the rest of the crypto market. So yeah, it's interesting. Like the rest, the altcoins may move more the beginning of January, but we'll see. So that's what I'm seeing for that. Let's just take a quick look at XRP and then the DXY, and then we will close. So XRPZ in there, here's he. Oh, my head. XRP. So obviously we got rejected. I'll put up the moons quickly. We got rejected here from the new moon, Leo new moon. So clearly that was our rejection, our resistance level. So like I says, we are going to get into entering our support. And I feel if Bitcoin is going to go low, we're going to retest definitely the lows of this parallel channel when it comes to XRP. But as we have already touched here, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin does fall, ranging between that 44 to 50k, somewhere in between there, then XRP may come and retest this level again as it touched it before. When finding not when finding its support, probably close to Q4 December, winter time. Yeah, but we may just we may stay here. We may stay here because of how it's looking. I won't be surprised if it retests this zone. But like I says, when it comes to XRP, it makes little difference. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but it makes little to no difference. Obviously, some, but not that much, depending on where you get in. But Bitcoin is just a bit more like it's thousands of it, rather than pence. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Let's just take a look on the daily. So on the daily, it looks like, again, like Bitcoin, we are trying to recover. But if Bitcoin goes down, could we get rejected off of this moving average? And could that bring us down more? Or are we going to cross it? So that's what I'd like to see there. We are wedged between the luminary moving averages right now. So that's interesting on the daily. So that will definitely give us some support. But if Bitcoin drops down, it is going down to this level. 48, 49. And I generally feel it needs to create a solid support. So I'm not gonna, this is definitely its next zone. It may find its support at, where are we? 49 cents, where we were here. And the question is, will it just drop down to this level at 42 cents? But I'm definitely seeing here first, and we'll see how price responds on this level for it to potentially go lower. But like I says, we're leaving our new moon energy of resistance and we're getting ready to find our support. So that's what price wants to do. So we've got more time. We've got more time, basically. Not much time, I don't feel, but we've definitely got more while price wants to find its support. And like I says, it's this December full moon and Mercury retrograde, with Mercury being in this Ophiuchus energy. And like I says, Ophiuchus being the healer and transmutator of energy. And looking back on the charts we were looking at for Bitcoin, Ophiuchus moved a lot, and it recovered when Mercury was in Ophiuchus. So that is what I'm anticipating. This Ophiuchus energy is what I'm paying attention to. And I do feel they may just kick people out. They may just kick people out. Like I says, I've not done it for XRP. If you do want me to, let me know. Just let me know. But just going over what I've shown you, the Mercury retrogrades again. It's like, it's this one I'm paying attention to. Okay, this one. This is what I want to know. Are we going to come into this? And like I says, that's still, I don't know, to me it creates a good support, but like I said, just going off of the past things and what seems to be correlating is this Ophiuchus energy. Mercury being in there, Mercury covers monetary things, is commerce, is monetary stuff. So will we get that transmutation of money, transmutation of the crypto market? The energy is changing and transforming to get some highs. But yeah, could we go as low as this point, this dotted line at 40 odd? I don't see Bitcoin really hitting the bottom of this. But like I said, just coming back to this zone where it would reach the dotted line would give us a solid structure, and then that would potentially bring us lower in the RSI. And it's only when we're a bit lower in the RSI that's when I'll be anticipating more upward momentum. But we're not there yet. So with that being said, I still feel there's more time. So just looking on the 4 hour for XRP. It's similar to Bitcoin. Obviously, the new moon coming in, we had our resistance, so we came down. So we're definitely recovering from that. But could we get rejected? We're underneath the luminary moving averages here. So could that just keep us sideways? Probably trying to recover a bit more. But then could we get rejected lower to this point? So that's kind of what I'm seeing. And that's all I really want to be paying attention to. I'm feeling just a little bit drowsy, to be honest. My head was buzzing last night. Let's just take a look at the DXY. That's how I sound as I sound, but I say it got some time. So the DXY had downward momentum as well, and it is recovering similar to crypto, just that downward momentum and a little bit more up. But this has been kind of going down and down. Down and down. So looking at it, the MACD, we are entering into the green, so there's definitely recovery happening there. And with the RSI, we were obviously hitting lows, so it is in the phase of recovering. Could we recover to this level? Because we haven't, yeah, we've retested this break zone once and then twice, but we haven't really come to retest this. So it seems as if prices come down. It did do a break and retest of this zone, and we got rejected again. But could we wave up a little bit, get rejected off this level, and then come down? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. They seem to be moving quite similar instead of opposites right now. But that is kind of what I'm seeing. I just want to take a look at this for you. Oh, look at this. Can you see we're starting to turn orange? This part is a bit lighter than this part here. So we are starting to turn orange. And where are we? We're September, October, November. That could be the last of that dip, the last of this squiggle as it's turning a different color over the next 2 months. Like that could be a thing. And then look, we turn that lighter orange and then it goes up. So could that just be like we're little bit of downward momentum? I don't feel it will be extreme, to be honest, but just a little bit of downward momentum, finishing all of that off, sideward momentum as well, while this just changes color, and then it goes on up, going into the December and Q1, the beginning of the Gregorian 2025. But it is getting to it. I say we've got more time, but it's not a lot of time. So yeah. And with that being said, I have to end this here because my mouth is tired. My mouth is tired. But if you did like this, do let me know. It was a bit all over the place. I'm sorry, my laptop is just not working at times. But thank you if you've reached this far in the video. Thank you for your patience with me. I'm working on consistency, I am working on consistency, Put me head sometime, no good. So I'm working on that a lot. But I'm seeing December, I do feel we've got like, especially if you're dollar cost averaging, obviously keep doing that. But I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. But I do feel you've definitely got more time for that, for these prices. And let's be real, even when the crypto market begins moving, Bitcoin's going to move first. So if your aim is the altcoins, then you've got even more time. So yeah. So with that being said, this was Crypto Angles podcast number 68, and I will see you for number 69. Number 69. Do grab a calendar, it's on sale. Grab a reading if you want. Make sure you check out Bitcoin's birth chart reading too, because it's cool, as well as XRP's. If you do want me to go over and highlight XRP's retrograde date so we can analyze the difference of that, do let me know, and I'll catch you in the next video. Give a like, please. Just help your girl out. Support the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Au revoir. I look a bit weird now. See ya.